Hey everyone, it's G from the Somebody Some podcast, and I want to send a special thank you to everyone who's taken the time to leave kind reviews on Apple Podcast. Our team appreciates feedback, so hit that subscribe button, leave us a 5-star rating, and give us a review. Who knows? Shout out to you on the next one. On this episode, we explore how living a productive and meaningful life is a balancing act. With the pressures of today's demanding and high-paced world, most people struggle to find a reasonable balance. We can easily be drawn away from our priorities when one aspect of our life consumes the bulk of our time. To a large extent, it's much like walking a tightrope. When we drift too much in one direction or the other, we become unbalanced. The guys share a few tools on how to sustain what we value most in our lives. We want you to find your balance in order to achieve your purpose and goals.
Welcome to another episode of the Somebody Son podcast, where biting your tongue is never allowed. Young men battle with the pressures of manhood every day. Each episode, we tackle topics that focus on worth, actions, and relationships. Our goal is simple: help men win the war with themselves.
I'm happy to be here, gentlemen. I'm not gonna lie. I spend a lot of time with family recently, with my woman, my mother, outside of my busy work hours, but it feels good to engage with some like-minded individuals, some brothers, man. It feels real good. And I miss it more than I thought I would. You kind of go a while without it, but when I'm into it, man, I've been having goosebumps all day, so I'm just happy to be here.
It's funny because we talked a few times ago about community and how important community is and how easy it is to, like, when you're in your world and you deep, and especially when you're super obsessive and focused on something, you can, like, go without it, I guess, to an extent. And that's hard to say because you always got some form of community. But you can go without your boys for a while. Yeah. But boy, it's nothing like having the homies, man. Yeah. It's nothing like being able to, tap back in.
And you can't replace conversations like this with work. You know what I mean?
Oh no.
You cannot do that.
Especially not work.
That'll run you into the ground. I mean, you just feel you be looking. I mean, I've had stretches where I'm just like working super hard, and then I look around and all my friends having fun and they enjoying each other and I'm working. You know what I mean? Yeah. And it's just like, damn, I miss it. You know what I mean? Yeah. And these are soul quenching conversations. Yeah.
It depends on the friends. It depends who I haven't seen. I'm gonna go ahead.
Let me qualify.
We're not gonna act like you don't see people for a long time. It's just all.
It's not everybody.
Yeah.
It's not
Sometimes it reminded you why you haven't seen them in a while. Right?
Yeah, that's true.
That's a word. That's a word from Russ, from Big Russ.
So are you saying there's some people that you could appreciate or even care for, but they shouldn't be occupying so much of your time?
I'm saying I know I've learned how to love people from afar and accept them for who they are. Okay. And I don't have to critique or judge them for where they are. I can just appreciate it from far away, and understand that, I'm real big on what you consume. Yeah, I got a little weight, but I'm talking about social diet, things that you actually ingest that affects your mind. And some people I can't be around but so much. And I think it's just me, it's just who I am. But I'm real cautious on what I take in. And one of the things about, like, Chris, we talk all the time. We met a couple weeks ago and we talked for almost 2 hours at the restaurant. Yeah. I don't see you often, but every time we link,
it's an occasion.
It's an occasion every time. It's a special event, and those are the things that I like. I've been around. You go to homecomings or whatever like that, and it's just sometimes you feel like you are the odd man out or a stranger in a room full of people you've known for 10 years. And some people, you may not have known that long, may not have had such a deep relationship with homies.
Yeah. I mean, me and him, we like you said, we basically just met. But we've been basically in constant contact since then. Yeah. So
That's awesome.
I got a question. So we talking about friendships and, people that feed you. We spend most of our time in the workplace. That in itself is a topic. Is that okay? Is it okay that we spend most of our time away from the people who we are committed to doing life with? I understand that it's normalcy, so I'm not trying to create a philosophical debate here, but how do you? I don't know. Just
I think I know where you're going. I'm assuming I know where you're going.
Talk to me, bro.
I don't do work happy hours.
Okay.
Now, if someone's leaving or something like that, and I'm obligated to be there, I'm the first one out. Right? Just happened this past week. I do my job, I get the check, and I go home to the people that's the most important.
Okay. So essentially your work relationship stays as work.
Yes.
That's it. It's just straight business.
We barely talk about anything else. We might can talk about, of course, weather or, just high level things, but very few people in my workplace know exactly like the intimacies of who I am. I like to draw that line in the sand. It could be a variety of reasons. I am the only person of color on my team. Not to say I don't feel involved or engaged, because you guys know me. I'm the same way at work. I talk shit. I talk a lot. I don't have a problem expressing my opinion. However, I just don't like to cross those lines in the workplace.
The elders in my life tell me that we operate differently. Like, so for me, I have frolleagues, so my colleagues have become family in a lot of cases. When I moved to Atlanta, it was my colleagues who were my friends and family. And even when I'm home, I develop these deep, rich relationships, which I appreciate. But at the same time, still, I'm not committed to doing life with these people. We're making the best of what we have and feeding each other and supporting each other in the work sense. And then beyond that, if room is there. But I guess the answer is there are different ways of doing it.
There is. Because it only goes so deep. I can only connect with people I work with at some point. When you go out to happy hour with coworkers, you talk about work mostly. And it's just, I've already gave you 10 hours.
You said that's enough.
I don't want to talk about anything anymore. Yes, the meeting was bad. I didn't understand what Josh was talking about. I don't care about that anymore. I need to move on, because my 5 to midnight is way more important than my 9 to 5.
Yeah.
But I assume that you've had colleagues that you have had deep connections with.
I have.
And so what made that different?
What made that different, there was a relatability there. There was a way that I could tell beyond the work veil that they were someone that was very similar to who I was.
Gotcha.
And not to say everyone needs to be like me to be my friend.
Right.
No, but everyone goes into some form of character when you're at work. Not to say you change your voice to be a different person, but you have to act a certain way professionally. And when you're working so closely with people, for example, when I had to travel overseas for work, I was with a group of people that we worked with very heavily. We did soft skills training together. We traveled to different countries together. Those were situations where we were able to really create a real friendship, because it was so much time invested beyond just the 9 to 5. It was, I don't know anyone else on this side of the world. You're the only person I know. Let's go do something together.
The circumstance.
The circumstance put us in a situation.
Center of gravity where it's like, we got to be together.
It was necessary.
We ended up being great friends, but the people that and now those friendships are maintained to this day. But the people that I see in the office every day, I only see you when I'm in the office. I'm not going to Taco Tuesday. I have things to do, but
Taco Tuesday.
Or every week they switch it.
It seems to me like you guys are on different ends of the colleague relationship spectrum.
Sure, I would say so, yeah.
So you mentioned, what was the term?
Frolleagues.
Frolleagues.
Is that a Google term?
Never heard that.
Nah, but we just came up with it because we feel that way,
So you going into a work environment, right? Essentially, what you're expecting from yourself is to connect to somebody else, right?
Yeah.
But when you go into a work environment, if nobody bridges that connection gap with you, are you more like, do you get what I'm trying to say? Do you go out of your way to just make it work relationship?
I don't go out of my way for it. I stick to the agenda.
Does somebody have to connect to you first for you to be able to have a relationship with them as a colleague?
Why are we here?
Okay.
And once we get down the why are we here portion, then everything else could potentially open up, but as far as I want it to go.
Gotcha.
Okay. But very rarely do I have conversations with people at work outside of morning greens. I'm the first one to say good morning. I'm a very pleasant and nice guy at work. It's just that there's a level.
Boundary.
Yeah, there's a boundary. I don't go but so far. Like, I don't like to let people into my personal life. I would say, as far as my personal adventures, my boss probably knows more than any of my peers. Knows about what I have going on, because I like a transparency, and it's going to help me with my strategy going forward. Right? But as far as just the guy that sits next to me, very high level. Very high level. I don't have the time. I don't have the time.
You know what's funny? You asked that. I love that question, by the way, Ali, because it made me think a bit. But just speaking to the fact that we are all, despite the fact that some of us do become close and we do become frolleagues, we are here to do a job. And I found myself with my colleagues when I was in the A, right around the time when Trump got elected, feeling frustrated because I did know that a couple of them were Republicans and likely did vote for him. And so I brought that concern and that question to their attention one morning. I forget what triggered me the night before, but I was like, yo, if these people call me bro and they say they, rock with me in the way that they do, they have to know how I feel about, his candidacy or his, his being a president. Because again, it's based on the nature of our relationship. We were close. We rock out together. We talk. We have deep conversations. I know what's going on in your family to a reasonable extent. Maybe I won't even say reasonable. It was, I know a lot. You know a lot about me. We grew together over the time where I'm here. I leaned into these relationships, and I think they leaned in as well. So again, I felt like it was a safe space. And that's what I'll say.
So you felt like
it was okay to bring this concern to their attention.
But why would it matter to you? Why does their political views have any impact on the friendship? And why do you feel you have to voice your opinion on how they feel?
Yeah, because of how divisive it was. So it's like I've worked with Republicans probably all my life just due to the nature of where I've worked. And I've worked with more white people than I have with people of color.
That's another conversation I want to have, though.
We should. And I think this can flow right into it. But it ultimately became a situation where I brought it to their attention. They were pretty much, I don't want to say dismissive at all, but it was clear that the level of empathy just wasn't there that I expected. And what I did was I had to deal with that myself, as being as, positive as possible. I went and talked to my dad about it. And he was on some like, you approached that the wrong way. You were wrong. Like he kind of went off on me and was your level of expectation should be calibrated going forward. Woo. Y'all signed a contract, an at-will contract to perform these duties. Anything above and beyond that is on you. You know what I'm saying?
And I agree with your father because I think the expectation, I would say wrong. You have your own judgment, do what you want to do. But I think the expectation is it went farther beyond what it need to. And we have to look in the mirror. Like sometimes, if you keep it as business and I don't know what's going on, I don't want to influence anything with our working relationship because at the end of the day, I'm here to get a job done. I need this check.
Is it ever just business stuff?
That's what I'm saying. I
guarantee most of our employers have PACs, right? Political action committees, and they donate to people on both sides of the aisle. I think, so I'm a offer a different perspective. I don't think it's ever just business. I think the difference between the relationships you've been able to develop in the workplace versus some of the ones you've developed in the workplace is based on what's revealed. I think the quality of the connection dictates the relationship. And there's people that you're able to have quality connection with based on the environment that your work placed you in. And so now what's inside of them is more revealed because here's 6-8 people picked up out of the United States, placed in the UK, and y'all got to get through life together and ain't no friends and family. Same thing with you. You mentioned my folks in Atlanta created they were like my frolleagues, so family and friends and colleagues all in one. Yeah. But that's because of the environment it placed you in. But it's always been that way. You were just in a more comfortable environment, so you felt less motivated to reveal who you were. But I think
the nature of relationships in the company is what's cultivated by the company.
The nature of the relationship.
It's cultivated by the individual. You have a corporate culture. Because there's always a corporate culture. But individuals still have to play within that system. Right. And there's always small pockets that you can influence based on however you see the world, however you decide to move through it. Right. My concern is where I draw the line is I don't care to know the political affiliations of anyone that I work with. It has no impact on why I'm here every day. So if I keep it at a minimum, I won't have that. I don't need to have the conversations you may have had, you felt like you had to have with your coworkers because you found out about their political parties. But my whole question is, you connected with them anyway before you knew it. So now you took a healthy relationship and you found a reason to put something between you guys. And we always do that.
Yeah, well, I don't want to go too extreme with it, but you are right. It remains to this day a healthy set of relationships. When I go back to the A, they stop what they're doing, they link up. It's a beautiful thing. But you are right. It's like I guess it comes down to me and having to manage my expectations of others.
But why do you feel you have to why do you feel that you have to lay your opinion on other people because it's different? Like, what do you hope to gain?
You getting extreme a little bit with it, Chris.
Oh, I'm trying to. I'm trying to content. Yeah. This is on purpose here.
No. So, like, again, put it in context. We all know what the Trump presidency has surfaced, what connotations it has. We know explicitly the divisive policies and rhetoric that's come from that office. And so before he was even in office, we saw this coming into play. So again, I'm like, all right, boom. If you see and you hear that this person feels some type of way or is demeaning or is if he's not, I guess I
think the behavior he illustrated was counter to the behavior illustrated by people that you had created a quality connection with.
Yeah, thank you.
And so for you, because you were so comfortable in revealing a certain part of you, you had to call it on the rug. I actually respect it because I feel like I agree with you. You shouldn't have an expectation to share political views in the workplace. But if I reveal a certain portion of myself to you, which is below the work environment,
relationship, yeah.
level.
He's taking it a step before that is why, I guess, are you saying, why are you creating that relationship? Why are you revealing yourself to that person? Is that what you're saying?
My question is, why does it matter?
So Chris, think about it this way. Imagine if I voted for Trump. Would you have questions for me?
Yeah.
Okay, so and I think that's a better way to put it though.
Whoa, but that's different.
Hold on. No. Let me just explain what my thought is.
Okay.
I developed these types of relationships, like real, sincere, authentic relationships.
And it just happened to be people you work with.
And it just happened to be
and that's
people
what I'm saying.
I
It's
work
based
with.
off of what you reveal.
Yes.
If I reveal a certain portion of myself to you, regardless if we're coworkers, frat brothers, brother-in-laws, colleagues, we go to the same gym. If I reveal a certain portion of myself to you, that resets whatever the expectation
like
was.
it muddies the waters almost.
Exactly.
But what
exactly.
does their political affiliation have anything to do with
I don't care about
any of
political
that?
affiliation. It was Trump. It was Trump.
it's
I told you I've been cool. I've been cool with Republicans all my life. I've had close friends with Republicans. It's not about political party. It's about, again, who you stand for.
Yeah. And
if you stand behind this person, how can you stand with me? Yeah. And I think, honestly, but to your point, it's on me to have to deal with those complex scenarios because I muddied the waters. And
my whole point is, why muddy the waters when I'm only here for a job anyway?
Because, Chris, I like connecting with people, and I'm in an environment where it's conducive to
I love to connect with people too.
I know.
All I'm saying is, and I'm just being...
Yeah, of course.
But my whole thing is my problem with this just taking it to the extreme is when it comes time to connect with people and we want to see change, I look at it from our community. We always find a way to divide the pie. We always find a way to divide the pie. I don't
like this statement. Elaborate, bro.
Okay, prime example. You have a nurturing relationship with coworkers. You found out that they are Republican or whatever, they support Trump. You guys are able to come from that, but there could have been a wedge that, depending on how strong your personal beliefs are, you never could have bounced back. Sure. Now, we decided to take something, put a wedge in between, because of a label.
I disagree with the wedge.
Hold on.
Okay, go.
So I'm going to make a point here and bring back to our community. When we look at minorities, and minorities now is pick a name, pick a letter alphabet, right? Look at black people as a whole. One of the things that I look at is it's never just, it rarely is it us. It's heterosexual, it's homosexual, it's pick all the alphabets for those. It's men versus women. It's never just one. We always have to single out or divide ourselves from the subgroup.
Categorizations, classifications.
Yeah, we constantly drill down and say, hey, I like to wear red t-shirts every day and this is why. But your skin color is black, or we are financially illiterate, or things like that are all the same, but we find these small nuances that create separation that puts us further away from the progression we can make because we always dividing ourselves.
I just think, Chris, intelligence is the ability to hold two opposing beliefs in your head, to be able to assess both fairly, objectively, and I can do that. I can understand why people are Republicans who have conservative views.
Me too.
Limited government.
And that's why I'm not mad at it. So what does it matter?
When we're talking when we're talking about the...
I don't think that those two things are the same. In fact, I think we're living in a society now where we want people to be their authentic self and share their unique qualifiers.
No, we don't.
Hold on, let me finish.
You do, but we don't. We always talk as individuals.
I disagree, and I'm gonna tell you why. I'm gonna go to
the word is out there.
I do want to come back to that. Hold on, go ahead.
I'm sorry.
I'm gonna go to the flip side of that. Your colleagues could have revealed what candidate they were supporting in the primary prior to the election.
Yes.
And based on your belief system, if it matched theirs, now you might benefit from a promotion. Mm-hmm. There's hidden advantages.
Yeah. There are a lot of nuance.
Hidden advantages that occupy the workplace that based on what I revealed to you, I am now in a position to capitalize off the information I just shared. And so that's why I do believe that there's a subset of society that looks to divide and create wedges. I'm not disagreeing with you there. But I also believe that sharing those unique qualifiers have benefited people because I shared. So now I know, because I know like based on what alma mater you went to, now people like, so you went there? I went there. My homeboy went there. We should grab lunch.
Sure.
Now, to you would have been like, hey, it's just work. Why I gotta tell you? I don't want to go lunch with y'all. But I'm just saying there's benefits in the workplace based on some information you reveal, but at the same time, that exact information could be your detriment. I think one of the things I would give you kudos for is that you were able to compartmentalize it, and so was your colleagues, in a way that says, absolutely. I still rock with your character, even if through your moral compass, you agree with somebody else politically than what I would support. And I think that in itself is beautiful.
Yeah.
I just think that if you have such strong feelings about people's potential moral compass based on whatever their political affiliation or candidate side support, if you feel that strongly about it and it's something that you need to know from people, or it's something that you use as a gauge of how they are, then you should be a lot more upset with everything that's going on in the world. Like, for example, your denim jacket manufacturer may support the same candidate, but you're still wearing it.
Yeah, and I think, so to your point, that's more of an ideological, extreme, and like I hear what you're saying.
But we always try to live life in the middle, but the extremes are there.
No. But you gotta realize, I'm wearing it. Am I supporting what they stand for by buying it? To an extent I can be, and that's my fault for not being knowledgeable on, Zara stance or whoever this is, Zara stance or whatever. But what I'm saying is a little bit more blatant, a little bit more in your face, and something that was my reality. I didn't need to be as conscious about. Again, it's just in my face.
And you didn't reveal your character and personal things in your life.
I can't expect something from
to the manufacturer. It's based off of what's
Yes, you can.
No, I can. No.
You can choose to eat all organic.
Absolutely,
you can
fair
choose
trade.
to only eat free egg, free range chicken. You can do whatever. You can do these things. My whole point is, if you're going to be mad, be all the way mad. Because if no one's all the way mad, we would never we would never change the society. We will not change until we are all the way mad, and we have to be okay with not being all the way mad and don't pick and choose when we're angry.
Chris, I to an extent, to a fair extent, I agree with a lot of what you're saying. I just think you have to be mindful of the nuances of what we're talking about. And I think to be extreme in this conversation is to almost miss a very important conversation.
Exactly.
And a very important reality for so many people.
Agreed.
Yes, I probably should go and categorize everything in my house. If we're gonna do it, let me look at where the wood came from. Was it illegal logging that built the condo that we live in? We can go there.
So my whole point is, you had to express your feelings about their political affiliations.
Yeah.
To what ends?
I think the nuance, again, because I want to make sure we don't miss the conversation. I think the nuance here is because I have revealed more to you. You happen to be a colleague, but I have revealed more to you that I would probably reveal to those that I keep close, which is why you came up with the term frolleague or whoever came up with it.
Yeah.
And so now that you've moved from that bucket to a different bucket, there's different rules of engagement. And those rules of engagement is what compelled you to say, hey, full transparency, I ain't really rocking with him because he doesn't compliment the character I have. I still rock with you, but because I rock with you, I feel like I have an expectation to let you know, you and I can't talk about this or even rock
keep it real,
level.
Chris. Yeah, in every environment, Chris.
And I respect that.
I went out my way to tell you I don't agree with you, so we can't talk about this no more. What was the point of talking about it anyway?
No, we don't. First off, we never stopped talking about it. We actually talked more about it after that.
Exactly.
But to your point, I just get on the same page.
Yeah.
There are different ways of going about it.
For sure.
I think there are different ways. There's no one right way. I think for a lot of people, especially if you don't have the appetite to deal with the reality, you should probably fall the F back. Like, don't even dig there.
Yeah. I'm the most liked guy in the office. Everyone loves me. But I keep it certain levels. Like, and I make a conscious choice to do that, but I'm not the scowling, angry black guy in the office. No, I'm very likable. I actually heard feedback from the talent review that they have 2 levels above you, and I got all raving reviews. Like, and actually, I'm so well liked.
Which
is me so much.
Which is beautiful.
They love me in the office.
So I do want to get into that. I want to get into that because you're liked, but you're also liked because you've implemented guardrails that other people don't have to implement. Yeah. But why do you have to implement it? I do want to go there. I really want to go there.
Because...
No. I want to go there. I want to go there next.
All right. We gonna go there next.
We gonna holla at G, and then we'll come back and go there.
Bet. That's a great point.
Let's do that.
I like that. Hey, good stuff, man. I like that one. Hey. That was good. Hey, give me some, Ali. Yeah. I appreciate what you added to. I know you ain't working yet. But you was working today, baby.
I'm trying to be as objective as possible.
Yeah. I'm trying to be as reckless as I can be.
We hope you enjoyed this episode of the Somebody Son podcast. We encourage you to share this episode with a friend. And remember, on this path called life, you are not alone. Thank you for watching. Until next time.
She liked the way that I finessed it. She stares